Get some tissues because I'm about to read to you one of the sweetest stories I've ever read. I got this off Facebook, copied it, pasted it into my teleprompter on CapCut, and let's read it. All right, guys? Lunch story. I always knew there was a price attached to a child's dignity in this country. I just never thought I'd watch the transaction happen right in front of me. It was $3.15. That's what a hot lunch cost at Jefferson Elementary. My name is Frank. I'm not a teacher. I'm not a counselor. I'm the HVAC guy, the one they call when the boiler growls like it's dying or when the rooftop AC quits on the first hot day of May. That Tuesday, I was in the cafeteria before lunch, fixing an issue with the walk in freezer. The air smelled like tater tots, frozen pizza, and industrial disinfectant. The room vibrated with the kind of chaos only third graders can create. Then the noise softened, not all at once, but slowly, like someone easing down a volume knob. A small boy, maybe 8, stood at the front of the lunch line, and his backpack looked too big for his shoulders. He reached for a tray stacked with chicken nuggets and mashed potatoes. But that's when Miss Carroll stopped him. Miss Carroll's kind, I've known her for years, bright lipstick, gentle smile, but as she stared at her register screen, her face drained of color. She said, "I'm sorry, honey," quietly. The room was silent enough that everyone heard. She took the hot tray from his hands, but the boy didn't protest. He didn't cry. His arms just dropped to his sides, empty. Miss Carroll bent down and pulled out a small white paper bag, setting it gently in front of him. She whispered, "This is your lunch today." Inside was a cold cheese sandwich, still sealed in plastic, and a carton of plain white milk. The alternative meal. The shame meal. His shoulders folded inward, and he took the bag and walked to the farthest table near the trash cans and stared at the wall. He didn't open it, but my blood pressure spiked. I'd seen that look before years ago on young Marines when the mail was handed out and their names weren't called. The look of being forgotten. I stepped beside Miss Carroll, asked, "What was that?" Her eyes filled. "His account's overdrawn, Frank. Negative 2150. New district policy. Zero balance, zero exceptions. Everything's automated. If I override it, I could lose my job." "Policy," I muttered. I pulled a wrinkled 20 from my wallet, put it on his account, let him eat. "I can't," she said, shaking. "The register locks us out. Payments have to go through the district office or online. They call it efficiency." I stared at that boy sitting alone, holding humiliation in a paper bag. I couldn't fix the system right then, but I fixed the freezer and watched him the entire lunch period. He never took a bite, and when the bell rang, he tossed the unopened bag into the trash and walked out. It stayed with me. After work, I went grocery shopping. Not basics, though. I went for kid food: bread, cheese, peanut butter, jelly, oranges, cereal, frozen pizzas, chips, the kind of stuff that makes a kid smile. I knew his bus stop. I found the apartment. Unit 2B, rusted stairs, loose doorbell wires. I knocked. A woman in scrubs opened the door, holding a crying baby. Exhaustion clung to her like a second skin. "Ma'am," I said gently, "I'm Frank. I work maintenance at the school." Her eyes widened. "Is Leo okay?" "He's fine," I said quickly. "Great kid." I lifted the grocery bags. "My wife accidentally doubled an online order. Our fridge is full and I can't return this. Would you help us out and take it?" She knew it wasn't true. I knew she knew. Her chin trembled, and she stepped aside. Her counters were nearly bare: formula, a few cans, and a pile of overdue envelopes. "The system was down," she whispered. "Auto pay didn't go through. I worked a double. I'll fix it tonight." "I know you will," I said. "Have a good evening." I drove home angry, angry at a system that teaches children hunger as a lesson. The next morning, I skipped the school and drove straight to the district office, the new, spotless building that smells like fresh carpet and expensive decisions. "I need to pay a lunch account," I told the receptionist. She pointed to a kiosk. "No," I said, "I want to pay all of them, every overdue lunch balance at Jefferson Elementary. What's the total?" She hesitated. "That information is protected." "Privacy?" I said. "Publicly taking food from a child isn't?" "I don't need names," I added. "I just the number." It took an hour and two supervisors. Finally, a man emerged. Total unpaid lunch debt is $2,148.15. I opened my business checkbook and wrote it out. This brings everyone to zero. Then I handed him a letter. Serve the hot meal always. Talk to parents later. Don't punish children to send a message. Dignity first. I thought that was the end. A week later, someone posted on Facebook. It was Miss Carol. She didn't use my name. She just wrote, "An angel visited our school this week." People argued like they always do. It's the parents' responsibility. Yeah, it is. Sure. My taxes shouldn't feed other people's kids. But more voices rose up. People saying things like, "How can I help? I was that kid once. These children are ours." The story reached the school board. Bad press has a way of speeding things up. They created a community fund, Jefferson's Hot Plate, with help from local businesses and the veterans of foreign wars. They added a 100-meal grace buffer, and they ended alternative meals forever. That Friday, I was back at the school finishing a thermostat job. The cafeteria was loud again, chicken nugget day. Leo sat with friends, laughing, ketchup on his cheek, a hot tray in front of him. He looked up, saw me, and lifted a nugget in a small salute. To him, I'm just the guy with the toolbox. I nodded back and turned away, pretending to check a vent so I could wipe my eyes. I can't fix Washington. I can't fix the economy. I'm just the guy who keeps the AC running. But I can fix a freezer. I can write a check, and I can make sure a child eats lunch while it's still warm. Maybe that's where fixing everything starts. Maybe it starts with us doing something kind like this. Every day kids go hungry. Every day they go hungry in America. And you see commercials about feeding kids in other countries, but what about our kids, And the whole it's the parents' responsibility. Yes, it is, but did that kid ask to be born to parents who didn't want to take responsibility? That kid did not. So, it's, it takes a village. It really does. A village of strangers sometimes. And that is the sweetest, kindest story I've heard in a long time. And it really brought my faith in humanity back because he didn't have to do that at all. And he did. And that's just amazing. Kudos to him. He's definitely going to heaven. Yep. Be kind. Be kind to others. Be kind to yourself. And especially little kids. Don't not give them a lunch because your taxes shouldn't pay for their lunch. No, you're right. They shouldn't. They shouldn't. But children shouldn't have to have parents who don't care about their responsibilities. So it's unfair either way. We're all in this together, or we should be anyway. Have a good one. I'm going to try and get this posted today. I want this at least posted. I've made 3 or 4 videos today. You'll see later on this week, but I want this story out today. All right. This is December 26th. Love you guys. Have a good evening. Bye.